Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the 7 musts of home health marketing. What the 7 musts of home health marketing consists of are the 7 items that you should definitely always have in your arsenal to be able to create a successful marketing plan, to be able to create a successful marketing attack. Okay, so the first one that you're going to be able to use and deploy are advertising. So let's talk about advertising. You have advertising in newspapers, in websites, in pamphlets. What can you do that you can actually create advertising on? And don't forget, you have the option in a later time to advertise in your local news channel, in radio stations, in blogs as well. So let's talk about TV. This is a great way to be able to reach out there to people. So you're going to see some of the larger chains go ahead and advertise, such as, let's say, for example, Homecare. You have Home Visiting Angels, those type of companies that will advertise in TV. You have the option to advertise in local cable TV channels or to the national cable TV channels. With this type of advertising, you're going to need a higher budget depending on if you're going to be advertising in really heavy trafficked shows, or you're looking and targeting small shows as well. It also depends on what time of the day of your TV advertising will depend on what the cost it will going to be. Now, the typical home health agency will not advertise in televisions, but it's also a great choice to look into. The next one is radio. Typically, the best way to advertise in radio is to find out about the demographics, just like television. Find out the demographics of the people that watches or listens to that particular radio channel or radio station. Now, typically, a lot of the seniors loves the oldies radio stations as well as those 24-hour news stations as well. You want to be able to find out and talk to their advertising department on how to be able to create packages to lower the cost of your advertising. Just like any advertising campaigns or marketing campaigns, you want to be able to measure and make sure you find out how you got those referrals. Ask them the questions. Ask them what made a person choose your company. How did they hear about you? Know that the investment that you're putting in is actually helping out. Other forms of cheaper advertising would be advertising in newspapers. You can advertise in the local area newspaper, or you can advertise in those citywide newspapers. So for example, just like in the Chicago area, advertising to the Chicago Tribune or the Chicago Sun-Times. Now, typically, the average young person nowadays do not really pick up a newspaper. And so that's where they're saying that print is almost dead, but not necessarily. The area of demographics you're trying to actually target are still reading newspapers. Great way to advertise. I prefer local newspapers, not the citywide newspapers, but local newspapers. So let's say, for example, a particular county that I want to target, I will find out what local newspaper is in the area that actually distributes there. Or I would get specific in regards to finding out a local senior newspaper, a newspaper that literally distributes to the senior community. Also, if you go to Walgreens or if you go to CVS or you go to Walmart, a lot of these places have little booklets they actually print out in a yearly basis. It's typically done by another organization. And what they do is they actually advertise, and you can post advertising for your company in these websites. So these are a good source to be able to get the word out about your company. So look into those advertisings as well. Now, when it comes to websites, your advertising in in the internet. We're going to discuss that a little bit later on in the 7 musts of marketing. You need to get the word out about your organization, so you need to be able to utilize the choice of using advertising. Now, it all depends on the budget that you're willing to do. But within these 7 musts of marketing, you must, in a way, use every single one of these forms some way or somehow in order to be able to get the word out about your organizations. The next thing that we're going to talk about is direct mail. When it comes to direct mail, you want to target your area, but when you do direct mail, you want to be able to get the addresses and the names of the people that you're looking for. So there are ways to be able to hire agencies to get a list building sheet where they can actually get you addresses of specific seniors in your area. So if you want to target people over the age of 65, you can actually tell them, find me the people over the age of 65 with this type of income within this area of services. And you can literally go ahead and get these names. Now, why is this better than just going ahead and doing a mail blast and sending it to everybody in your particular area that you want to attack? Well, it's going to cost you some money. You're going to be able to be paying postage for people to receive mail that more likely will not need your services. So by you investing in a list building company, you're going to be able to specifically target the ones that you want to target. When you do direct mail, you want to literally use a postcard style advertising so that it limits them from wanting to throw these items away. So you want to make sure that when they pick up the mail, they can literally see what you're selling, what you're marketing, what services that you have that you want people to know about. So direct mailing is very important to have and use, but you want it to be eye-catching. You want it where they can see it right there and then, and they know what services you're offering. Limit the whole paragraph writing skills. Use basic bullet point where they can actually read it right away and know what your advertising is about. Corporate literature is the next thing that you need. These are those trifold brochures. Make sure you invest in a good printing company, and the reason for that is because you want it to stand out. You want the gloss paper. You don't want the typical, let me photocopy this with my cheap photocopier and fold it myself. No, you want a clean paper. You want great design. You want high resolution photos to be able to be showing in these brochures. It is important that your corporate literature is very, very eye-catching. Now, other than your typical trifold brochures, remember about your promotional pieces that you actually have, that you can actually use. So, what do we talk about promotional pieces? Those are those little giveaways, little handouts, and we're going to talk more specific what works. Your pens, a variety of planners, calendars. But I'll share with you guys some information, some photos of what I typically have used and is using that has helped me change and make my company stand out when I give away things. Remember, you don't give away things without a purpose. Know why you're using it, know why you're giving it away, and then by having that plan, you can measure if it is working or if it is not. The fourth one is public relations. Do you have a networking plan? Are you actually going out there? Typically, if you want to get the word out about your organization, you're going to have to at least attend a minimum of 2 networking events in a week. And I will share with you later on where to find networking events, how to take advantage of networking events, and how to make yourself stand out. But public relations is important. Some companies will actually hire public relations companies to be able to work for them. At first, if the budget does not permit it, you can actually do it yourself. Go ahead and create the campaign that you need to do in order to be able to get the people to know who you are. Make sure that your company has a great marketing aspect, has a good public relationship program, because that's how you're going to be able to really get the word out about your organization. Personal contact. Look, to be able to get the word out about your organization, you need to have a sales team. You need to be able to have a marketing force to go out there. And it's not just your marketing team, it includes your therapists, your nurses, your customer service, such as your receptionists, your DONs, your administrators, the owners. Everyone should take part on marketing your company and getting the word out for you guys. Remember, your marketer, if you're the marketer or if you hired a marketer, is not the only person that should be in charge of getting the word out about your organization. Very good information. Make sure they actually go out there with the right items, the right products, the right services, well trained, practiced, drilled, and rehearsed so that they know what to say, when to say certain things. Market education. Are you going to trade shows? Are you creating speaking engagements? Are you providing education-based marketing? So when we talk about market educations, there are a lot of senior shows and senior fairs that occurs within your city. I guarantee if you don't know about them, search them. Typically in my areas, I normally see like around 10 or 12 of these senior events a year, of these large conferences where seniors will all come into this to be able to see what's the cool thing in the block. And it's very important that you are part of these trade shows. Typically when I go to these type of trade shows, you're only going to see 3 or 4 of your competition there. So you can literally stand yourself out by attending these events, making your boots nice, and to be able to get people to come to you. Speaking engagements, these are those lunch and learns. Go ahead and reach out to your assisted living communities and offer your speaking engagements. Talk about a particular information, a particular disease, a particular item that's going to be able to generate interest for people. Now, one example that I have done in the past is I actually did a ED presentation in regards to erectile dysfunction. I went to a 55 plus community and I told them that I wanted to do a presentation about ED. And I brought in a physician to come with me to do the presentation to talk about this. Now, my target area for this was not for patients to come to us. But typically in the 55 plus community, the 55 plus year old people, 60-year-old people are having ED problems. And so by giving them education about that, we were able to segue it and talk about our main services because we sponsored the event. Well, we're targeting them for the marketing, but the main purpose is not them, but to be able to get their parents. Because people who are 55, who are 60, have parents that are what? 70, 75, 80. Guarantee the patients that we want to target for our services. We give them information, we give them education, they see the value on it, then at the same time as they look at you as a trustworthy company. Not just doing that, providing health screenings, whatever you can do to go out there and show and share stuff about your company. This is very important for you. Lastly, this will take a lot of time of learning. You have internet. Are your websites created correctly? Do your websites, are they SEO? Do you actually take advantage of cost per clicks or pay per clicks? Are you taking advantage of social media? Do you have an email campaign? So when we talk about websites, your website should not be just a typical virtual brochure. You need to be able to have educational based marketing materials, and I actually can point you to companies that can link their information to your website so you can provide information in there. You want to provide education so people keep on coming back to your website, not just using your website to get your address, your phone number, but to get your website to go there and get information. You can also use education-based marketing materials for your email efforts? Do you have an email campaign? Now, a lot of you guys are saying, well, Michael, it's going to take me a long time for me to go onto the internet and email people one by one. Well, nowadays we have email campaign softwares where you can literally put the information in there and tell it when you want it to send it to whom you want to send it. You can do this in a matter of one day and take care of your marketing campaign for the rest of the year. You have your SEOs, make sure that you have, the right words in your website that's going to be able to help it literally go closer to the front. I cannot guarantee you that you're going to get in the front of Google, but if you actually try to do the right things, bring in the right experienced people to help your website go in the front of things. Also, social media. And I've said this to you guys earlier on the previous video, talking about don't let social media use you, but you use social media. Facebook, you need to be able to be part of that, posting a lot of things. One of the best social media websites is LinkedIn. This is a social media platform for professionals. And when we actually do LinkedIn, I've actually received a lot of referrals from LinkedIn because you can find the people who you want to target directly. You want to find out the names of the administrators of a particular company, you can find it out through here. You want to find out who the discharge planner is, guaranteed most likely you'll be able to find it here. So we actually have advanced training on LinkedIn in our future videos. Or you can just go ahead and go online and search it online, and you'll find a lot of training on how to be able to help you as a person build your list to get the proper contacts in LinkedIn. Now, another social media platform that a lot of people are not talking about is literally YouTube. You'll be surprised how a lot of home care companies are not taking advantage of YouTube. Now, the number one search engine in the world is Google. The second largest where people get information is YouTube. Now, it's growing where most people want to watch videos over them wanting to just read stuff on the internet. So video is starting to take over. So take advantage of this. A lot of our clients here at Home Health Success Academy found us through our YouTube channel. And that has actually helped us generate more people to start referring to us. And so I want you guys to take advantage of creating great explainer videos. If you need help and training on how to create videos, I'll be glad to help you out with that. Another thing I like to take advantage of is literally whiteboard animation nowadays. And I will share with you guys later on a few whiteboard animations if you guys ask me to show you what I've used to be able to provide education for people that is very attractive. So these 7 musts of your marketing is very important to have within your company to be able to make sure that you take advantage of this for your company. So make sure you use advertising, make sure you use direct mail, make sure you use corporate literatures, public relations, personal contact, marketing, education, and internet. Now, in the end, all this must be used, but the most important one to take advantage here is literally your marketing team. They have to be trained, they have to be drilled, and so I would say 75% of your marketing budget should be addressed within your sales team. The rest is on your trade shows and your internet and your direct corporate literatures and then your direct mail. Advertising is also very important. Understand that you need to deploy these 7 marketing techniques to be able to literally get your company out there and known. Now, we can help customize your marketing presence on each one of these. If you want us to help you guys even further, we can definitely help you guys create advertising, direct mail items, your brochures. That's very important. And what we're doing right now is training you with your public relations and personal contact on how to be able to go out there. But the trade shows, we have advanced training for that for you guys as well. And for the internet, we can help you by creating your websites for you, giving you guys ideas and leading you towards people who are great at SEO training, and also your social media. We can definitely give you some guidance, but just watch what we're doing and how we post things, what we do in the websites, in the internet. We give education. So make sure you deploy all of these 7 musts. It's very important for you guys to actually take advantage and use. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next slide.